Hey everyone, welcome. I finally found time to make another Digimon card video. So today we're going to talk about D-Tector cards. But before we get there, I just want to give you some background information. I think it's relevant. So 20 years ago, Digimon was insanely popular. In fact, its popularity rivaled even that of Pokemon. I think for a little while, the TV show did better than the Pokemon TV show. And so Digimon and Bandai, they want to capitalize on this popularity, and they made a Digimon trading card game. Now, if you are familiar with vintage Digimon cards, the first ones that probably come to your mind is Digi-Battle cards, our Digi-Battle cards. And it's surprising with all the popularity they had that Digi-Battle actually died within 2 years. I mean, look at the Pokemon with their popularity, the Pokemon card game that they made back then is actually still going today. And yet Digi-Battle couldn't even make it 2 years. There's various reasons for that, that's for another time. But basically, while they're doing the very last set of Digi-Battle, Series 6, Bandai was like, this isn't working. Let's scrap this and try to capitalize on our popularity with a whole new Digimon card game. Hence, D-Tector Cards were born. Now, if you're hoping this was a better game than Digi-Battle, well, it's not. In my opinion, it's much, much worse. But the cards are still fun to look at. They're fun to collect. So let's take a look. So there's 4 booster sets for D-Tector. And in the first set only, they had first edition versions. So if you look on the right there by my thumb, there's a first edition stamp. On the left, there's not, because they had first edition and regular versions, only for the first set. Now, as you go through, they're starting a new card game at this point. They're going to try and, give it some strong characters to start it off. So they got a lot of those favorites again: War Greymon, Metal Garurumon, Gallantmon, Black War Greymon, and of course, anytime you want a Digimon set to do well, you throw in an Omnimon, right? So you have 32 regular set cards, and then they included 10. I don't know what you would call them, ultra rares maybe, but they're gold text ones in the first set. So for each of the base set cards, they actually included a holo version that you could get as well, and those were 1 out of every 3 packs. Now I do have those, and they're going to be in the back though, because I like putting all my shiny stuff together. It's just, I don't know, I like seeing it all together, the glorious gleaming of it all. So we'll see those later. And then the gold text cards were 1 out of every 7 packs. Holos 1 out of 3. The ultra rares 1 out of 7. And those ratios will remain the same throughout all 4 sets. One other thing you should know about set 1 is the numbering is really weird. So Gallantmon here is the 32nd card in this set. And so it's number 32. That makes sense. So you'd think Agunimon here would be 33. Well, it's not. It's 65. From 32 to 65, but it's still part of that first set. Why did they do this? I'm not sure. I think maybe because if you lay out the set 1 and the set 2 together, you have all your common cards together and then all your ultra rare cards together, but I don't know if that's the reasoning behind it. But just be aware, the numbering's a little weird. Anyway, let's go on to Series 2 then. You got the same thing again. You got the regular cards. There's a holo version of each one. In this one, the characters, you got a lot from Season 2. You got a couple in here from, they're really from all over the place. But you do have your Imperial Dramon here, your Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode here, and they snuck in a Beelzemon in this set as well. Now, for the ultra rares of this set, they decided to do silver text instead of gold. And I think they just did this to make each set a little unique, and I really appreciate that. I think that's cool. And just a reminder, they did away with first edition in the second set, so there are no first edition cards past set 1. So that brings us to set 3. Set 3 is probably my favorite D-Tector set because they're all in action poses. They got great characters. They're like all popular ones. And like I said, they're all action poses. I mean, look at this. Leomon, he's doing like a Chuck Norris flying roundhouse kick. Like, how could you not like that? I don't know. You can't go wrong with Series 3, in my opinion. Now, if you're trying to get them all, just, Series 3 is a little bit harder to find than Series 1 and 2. in my opinion. That's the way has seemed to be in the past decade. And once again, there's holographic versions of all. This time, the ultra rares, they still have silver text, but they have a blue background, as you can see on the left page here. They still have 10 ultra rares. And then we get to Series 4. And if you've ever collected this, maybe Series 4 was a little bit harder for you to find because they're Asia exclusive. I don't think they are made here in the US. But they follow the same pattern for the most part. So you got your regular cards again, Venom Myotismon, Millennium Mon, some cool ones like that. And then they only had 8 ultra rares, and they went back to the gold text. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about Series 4 later. But first, let's look at some shiny cards. So, you know me, I'm always really big on the, special effects. So I worked really hard on this before we get to the shinies. Oh yeah, it's time. Hooray. Let's do it. All right, so let's check it out. Oh man, so I guess I didn't do anything super special with the hollows, but I really like that because it fills almost the whole card. It kind of gives it that like glass or ice appearance, which I really like. So once again, they did this for every base set card, sets 1 through 4. So here's Series 1. I'm going to fly through these. Try not to stay too long on them. Set 2 starts right here. There you go. Still in set 2. Set 3 starts right here. Still going along. I'm actually really excited. This was the last card I was missing of those hollows. So I got them all this past year. I was very excited about that. Just, D-Tector isn't worth a whole lot right now. Time of this video, the cards are not that expensive. It's a great alternative to Digibattle. They're still hard to find sometimes, but like I said, there's nothing that's crazy valuable at this point, in my opinion. Maybe some of the D-Tector promos, but the booster sets, you're in pretty good shape. Series 4, set 4 starts right there. Right there, my bad. Starts there, we're going through. And then that brings us to the promo cards. So, on the bottom right, you see a Guilmon. And this Guilmon was only available in a Game Boy Advance game. You can say, right? See it right there, Digimon Battle Spirit Game exclusive. So sometimes you run into people with that card, even though they don't collect Digimon cards, because it just came with a game they bought. This one is incredibly interesting. People couldn't figure out where it came from for a long time. And this one is, as you can see, it came with a Disney Home Video exclusive, but it didn't seem to come in all of them, and so it was really confusing until someone figured it out. Now, I heard it from a guy, I'm going to give credit to Gothic Pink. He's the one that told me this. And they only came in certain VHS tapes. One of them was Here Comes Guilmon, you had Digimon the Movie, Revenge of the Digital World, and even then it only came in some of those. It only came in the ones that had stickers on them, which said a card might be inside. So that's where this one came from. So thank you, Gothic Pink. Really appreciate that. And then you have something called toy exclusives, and they came in various toys, of course. And I think there's 19 of them. I'm going to have to double check that. 19. But they look like just like the Series 1 and Series 2 cards, but they have toy exclusive there at the bottom. They seem to focus on the Megas from Series 1 and Series 2. Ooh, my camera went all blurry. Hopefully that'll correct itself there. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then that brings us to the weird promos. Now, this is really hard because Bandai never completed what they wanted to complete. And so you can't just go by the numbers of figuring out what's out there, because there are some numbers that are missing. They didn't seem to go in order. There are some cards where there's like 4 of them with the exact same number. So you're never quite sure if you're finished collecting these or not. Often these are in terrible condition when you find them. But there's a couple mysteries here. I'll just show you some examples. So you have some regular cards. There's an Armageddon. This one's really hard to find. Not quite sure why. Some people think it comes in Series 4 packs. I'm not sure what I think about this one, but there's one this one's hard to find. There's a Zed Millennium Mon that's hard to find. There's a rumor that there's a Venom Myotismon out there that's hard to find. But like I said, it's just really hard to tell what exists out there. And also there was a number of fakes produced with these. Like most of them are Asia Digivice promos. And like I said, they made a bunch of fakes as well. And since there's no set list, there's not necessarily a way to tell. And it was actually really funny. I ran into someone once that they wrote a letter to Bandai trying to figure out what existed. And basically Bandai said, we don't know. And so like, I don't know if that guy was telling the truth or not, but I believed him. And he showed me like a section of the letter that, you know, so I mean, a lot of this seems to be lost in time. And it's hard too, because, you know, a lot of people don't know, and the people that would know are often the ones trying to sell it to you and will just tell you whatever they can to get you to buy it. So you don't always know if it's true. So this is a work in progress. I have some of them. And on my website, prejudicecollecting.com, I've done my best to list out the ones that I know for sure exist, and then list out ones that could exist as well. And there's always more information popping up slowly on these. But be careful. Be careful with these, especially. Because like I said, it's really hard to tell exactly what's out there and exactly what's real. And yeah. All right, so a couple more things to talk about. There are cards that look like this out there. So there's a Susanomon, as you can see, and this one was like I don't know how you want to say it, like an ultimate rare, a super ultimate rare, I don't know, but you could get in Series 4 packs. And I've also seen them in sealed Digivices. So, I mean, it looks like you can get it in multiple ways. And there's also other versions of this card. So you could get like there's one that's like a Gallantmon of this. There's an Imperial Dramon of this. I'm not quite sure where those come from, if they're from the booster packs. Someone once told me a tournament. I don't know, but they're out there, just so you're aware. And then you also have a couple of other things. There's just some cool Digivice promos out there. Like this one. I think this one's pretty cool. It's a gold one. See if it'll show you. Come on, phone. This happens once a video, right? Oh, there we go. So yeah. So you got Susanomon again in all gold. Not any rarer than the other ones necessarily. Some, you know, well, some are more rare than others, but yeah, just a Digivice promo again. And then a lot of the Digivice promos have the red text at the bottom. That's how you tell most of them. There are a couple with white, but most of them are red. All right, I got one more card to show you. Starting to get bogged down. I'm trying not to get too nerdy on you. If you got questions, you can always ask. Otherwise, I'll try and keep it a little more basic. There's also this one, which was a promo, all silver. Maybe you've seen it. Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. Just love the way it looks. Very, very cool. Cool stuff out there. Yeah. So there you go. Like I said, if you got questions, come talk to me. Otherwise, I have one last thing I want to show you. And that is fakes. It's an unfortunate part of collecting that there are, of course, sellers that jack up prices. There are, of course, sellers that will misinform you, that will rip you off. But then, of course, there are people that will try and sell you fakes, sometimes on accident, often on purpose. So we're going to take a look at those so you can be safe on that. I'm going to pull out a Black War Greymon. We'll compare it with an actual Black War Greymon so you can see the difference. All right, and this does happen. I actually had someone, as I'm making this video, I had someone try to sell me these fake ones 2 days ago, even. So, I mean, it happens. All right, so on the right, you have the real one. On the left, you have the fake. There's a couple ways you can tell. Here are the more obvious ones. The font. Look at the 9 on both the cards. This one's more bubbly. That's the fake. There's another way. The fakes seem to be a little bit smaller. And then here's my favorite way. The corners. On the left, the corners are square. The fakes are square. On the right, they're rounded. The real one is rounded corners. Plus, if you're holding them, you can tell that they feel different. They look a little bit different, but I mean, those are the big ways to tell. Because it's hard to tell on a computer screen, right? Now, not all the fakes are as well made. Some of them are pretty funny. So I'm going to show you some that are just, I don't know, I think they're funny. Here's one. They've made this of the Digivice promo, the Age of Digivice promo, but there's a little advertisement on top of the Digivice that said Digi Digits. It's not on the actual card. So whoever made these fakes scanned the outside of the box and left Digi Digits on there. So I thought that was kind of funny. Other ways, like you got gold text cards. They're not actually gold. They just made it yellow in hopes that you wouldn't notice. And then I'm going to show you my all-time favorite fake. I only keep these fakes so I can show you guys what's, fake and not in these videos. But here's my all-time favorite fake. I find it hilarious. So first of all, it says Ice Devimon on the bottom. That is not a picture of Ice Devimon. That's a Goonimon, so it's not even the same thing. And then this is the reason it's my favorite. In Digimon, there are levels. The main ones you hear about are Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, Mega. Well, I have found a new level, my friends. Look at that. Cookie level. Feel the power of the cookie level. So there are some that are very obviously fake. So I think that's mostly it for D-Tector Cards. Like said, if you have questions, you can always contact me on Instagram. What's my name? Oh yeah, at Prodigious Omnimon. So you can check it out on there and contact me that way. You can go to the website, prodigiouscollecting.com, and contact me there. I'm happy to answer questions if I can help. And really just want to get this information out there because Digimon was not well recorded. And I want you to have an opportunity to collect what you actually enjoy to collect, and know what's out there, what's actually rare, what's not so rare, things like that. So I hope you found this video helpful. I'll keep coming up with more until I cycle through most of Digimon cards here. So, hey, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching.